The initial investment that Venture Norfolk gave us was a really big boost for us, and luckily that got us going.
They're willing to take the risk on you, which is definitely a positive.
There's nothing more fabulous than being able to say, I give somebody a job.
We often say we're one of the best kept secrets in Norfolk.
If it wouldn't have been for them, we probably wouldn't be here today.
Venture Norfolk began in February 1988, and it was under a Community Futures program from the federal government, and we were mandated to set up business loans and to do business consultation. The neat thing about that is that we didn't really know what we were doing, and we had to go around and talk with some of the other organizations that had started before us to get an idea of what they were doing. In the early days, the focus was really on agriculture. That was deemed to be an important part of the Norfolk community. So a lot of loans that went out in the agricultural sector, particularly to non-traditional agriculture. I think we did $146,000 in loans, which was pretty small, to 6 businesses. One of the earlier loans that we looked at was something called shiitake mushrooms that most of us had no understanding of it. We also did things like oat milk production, some greenhouse operations that were a little different from the traditional tobacco. One of those businesses is still operational in the Simcoe area and has been transitioned to the next generation, the Harmony Bakery north of Simcoe. They initially had a location out near Delhi that we assisted them with in getting financing to operate there, and after a number of years they closed it down, but they still operate here north of Simcoe.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Our neatest part of that is being able to support something that is starting for the first time. It gives them a chance to get themselves off the ground and see if the idea is going to work, and we provide that seed money as a grant. If you don't have a track record, or if you're in a sector that's not as familiar, the traditional banking system often did not look very quickly at those or very favorably. So that was a mandate that we had to give them a track record, then they could go to get the traditional lending at the banks.
In some cases, the banks simply, it's not that they can't do it, they don't want to do it. And Venture Norfolk serves that role and will continue to serve that role, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here. I feel strongly about it. It's an opportunity to help those existing businesses, new business startups, and create entrepreneurship within Norfolk.
We also do lending to existing businesses that for whatever reason run into a difficult year and have financing pulled back, and then we come in, and our mandate there is to maintain the jobs.
My husband was playing hockey one time and had hurt his back, so he had to have some major surgery done. And after the surgery, he wasn't able to do the job. Everything started to slide, and at that time I was very inexperienced on how to run a business.
The business got into some difficulty and had some, at that time, GST owing.
Banks don't want to help you with that. Venture Norfolk helped us. They stepped in and helped me pay off those taxes, helped me get my books back into order, helped me answer any questions that I needed to do until Peter was up and running again.
And just a few years ago, we were able to step in again and assist them as they wanted to expand their production and sales area. And so we did provide some financing for that expansion.
Venture Norfolk and its people know how to read between the lines and how to make a business successful. They've helped us right from the beginning. And because of those guys, our business has probably started to double more and more.
Hi, Sonny.
Hi, Dave.
Good to see you again.
Good to see
Come
you.
on, let's go down to my office.
Sure.
The mandate that we have as well was in the consultation side of things, so that would be one-on-one to help a business think through their business idea, often not needing financing, they just wanted somebody to talk to. We also do a seminar twice a month now on starting a business, so that's for the newbies, to give them a chance to figure out that idea that's rattling around in their head. How do they get it down on paper and try to assess the idea? Will it fly? Can I actually get this thing going?
On more than one occasion, I've bounced different ideas off of them. Is this going to be, is this okay? Can we do this? What do you think about that? Is that a smart move? And they've been quite happy to have that conversation.
The last couple of years have been a bit of a whirlwind. We've kind of, in my opinion, I think we've kind of stepped out of the box, both as staff and as directors, and some new directors that have come on a few years ago. We've kind of got that same plan. What can we do to make this happen? Not what can we do to not make this happen. It's easy enough to turn things down. We've done some exciting things. One of them is going to be the Charlotteville Brewery.
Charlotteville Brewing Company is an estate brewery. We're located in Norfolk County. It came into existence just from as an extension or value-added business to a hop business that we already had called the Carolinian Hop Yard. Both my husband and I were educators at the time when we first started this project. Both of those off-farm jobs were helping to pay for our hobby, our farming, our farming hobby. That's where things got challenging. We both had full-time jobs and we're trying to do this on the side, and financially we were running out of options. We had approached larger lending institutions, we had approached some credit unions, and all of them had said, you know, Venture Norfolk might be the best opportunity for you. They did a little bit of research, they asked a few questions from outside of the county, looking at other examples of what we were trying to do here with a craft brewery, and they came back to us saying, yeah, we would really like to back this.
So we went in and helped them to finance from the ground up. And inevitably, they ran into some cost overruns, and we were able to be able to do that.
The tap room is open, the brewery is now open. We're getting lots of customers in. The business is growing in leaps and bounds, from private parties to weddings next year. It's wonderful. We're able to do a wide number of things now.
About 12 years into our operation, we merged with another sister organization that had done more of the granting function to community projects, and that became part of our mandate from then on. We have then, over the years, supported community projects. These are nonprofit groups that are trying to achieve something in their community, and they're, like the businesses, are trying to be entrepreneurial.
I was working for the Delhi BIA way back in 2007, and Delhi was really having a tough time. So people were telling me, I kept hearing over and over, you know, we need something to bring people to Delhi, you know, we need them to spend some money here. And so I was trying to think of something different we could do, and this cycling event just kept coming up in my mind. I'm an avid cyclist. I've often said that Norfolk is a cyclist paradise. I thought, well, let's put it to the test. The first challenge we found right away to start this event was we had no money for it to put towards it. And we were on a tight deadline here. It was March, and we wanted to launch this event in July. So we didn't have a whole lot of time to go around looking for sponsors. It was so easy to deal with Venture Norfolk.
They had an idea, can we build it and see if they come? So we provided just over $5,000 to them in that first year, and that even in the first year, was a huge success. There was a lot of people that used it, and I don't know, 11 years later, you can see the numbers that are using it.
The initial investment that Venture Norfolk gave us was a really big boost for us, and luckily that got us going. We've been able to, you know, hold our own, keep our expenses in check, and we're doing very well.
In the early days, because we were fitting a kind of a political mode, we had to call ourselves the Norfolk District Business Development Corporation. And that was really frustrating, because that is a long name and you can never get the initials correct and all that. So about 4 years ago, we went through a process of deciding what other name should we use. And we landed on the name Venture Norfolk, because it also embodies both businesses and community projects.
So seeing that moving right along, Fed Dev update, Lord?
The next 30 years will be continued growth that will be able to increase the size of our loans.
And I think that's doable when you look at what they've grown from in the last 30 years. I think that's doable. I think if we continue on the same portfolio that we've are, that's all real.
I think that we need to offer our community a culture of hope in the entrepreneurial world.
There's nothing more fabulous than being able to say, I give somebody a job.
I think Venture Norfolk offers a bit of that tangible activity for that culture of hope that I think you need to have in a community where you want to encourage the entrepreneurial spirit.
They're willing to take the risk on you, which is definitely a positive.
We're small businesses, we want to grow, and we need the knowledge and the money to do that.
Without the funding of Venture Norfolk, this vision of mine would never have taken place.